Reduce spending by $600 a month, and they can retire. So I'm working this couple. We'll call them Donna and Doug. And she wants to retire at 59. She's 57 now, so she wants to retire at the end of 2023. Doug is a couple years older, and he wants to retire at the end of 2023 as well when he's 62. So we're crunching the numbers, and it's like, it doesn't look great. And the reason it doesn't look great, and I'll show you why. Because when we're crunching the numbers, we got a 4% probability of success, all right, with a median liquid net worth of 0. They're not leaving any money, and they're going to run out of money before they run out of time, most likely. Now, they're never going to actually run out of money because they're going to get Social Security. She gets a tiny pension, but the facts are they spend a lot. There's no other way around that, and that's going to be tough. No one's going to sit there and say, yes, my blessings, sir, you can go and retire at 59. So we're going to have to do some changes in the financial planning realm. Running out of money means their liquid assets are gone. And I'm only giving them a 5.2% rate of return with downside risk, even worse than what happened in 2008. So basically we're using a Wellington-ish model, roughly 35 stocks to bonds with a 5.2% rate of return. And a potential for 28% on any given year downside. And that's not good. So we're sitting there thinking, oh, man. But then I showed her, I said, well, we can do one thing real quick. We can reduce your expenditures by $600 a month and have you retire 1 year later. So instead of 59, we'll retire at 60 and reduce your expenditures. Now, when I'm talking about expenditures, I'm talking about the day-to-day stuff. So they are basically spending $5,100 a month on their day-to-day consumptions, what their expectations are. Now, I'm saying reduce that to $4,500 a month. All right, so we're going to reduce that by $600 a month. Now, $600 a month might seem like a lot if you're only spending, say, $60,000 a year. They're not. Their total consumption is about $150,000. That is health care. They still got a mortgage. They got property tax. They got homeowners insurance. They got income tax. And they like to travel. All right. So when all is said and done, income tax, everything, we're looking at about $150,000 a year. Now, they're not going to travel forever. So basically in 15 years, we're going to remove the travel budget, which I have at $18,000 a year. So they'll only be spending $132,000 by then. $132,000 in 15 years. So Donna will be 75 years old and Dougie B. Fresh will be 78. Still, $600 a month is $7,200 a year. Divided by 150. All right, so that's going to be $7,200 a year divided by 150. That's a 4.8% reduction in expenditures, less than 5%. So reduce your expenditures less than 5% and work 1 extra year, and we have this right here. But Don's like, and I don't like that. I'm like, that doesn't make me all that happy. So I'm still not comfortable for me as a financial planner there. So I'm like, let's not do that. Let's try something else. Here, I said, let's just have you work for 3 more years. So you're not going to retire at 59. You retire at 62, and we're not going to reduce your spending at all. So you're going to work for an extra 3 years. That will be until 2024, 25, 26, until the end of 2026, which is 3 more years than what you want to do. And we're still going to have old Doug retire at 62 just because we didn't change anything. And now we're looking fine. We have a median liquid net worth that we're leaving to the kids, $883,000, and we're 85% of the time we have money left over, liquid assets. So I'm very comfortable with that. 100%. If that was what we're shooting for, we're gonna be good to go. But she's like, I don't know if I want to work an extra 3 years though. Is there something else we can do? So right now we're at that. So I don't know if in the Army, when you're firing mortar shells, and I was never a mortarman, but I was an infantryman, light infantry. So we do these expert infantry badge scenarios, which I never got, but in EIB. But I remember having to go through it. And what you do is you got your target right here. And what you're doing is you're bracketing around the target. So basically you're firing overhand, over the target. You'd hope to hit it right on the target, but you're still firing beyond the target. If that didn't, so you're sitting right here. Here's Josh firing the mortar shells right there, and then you bracket So it'd go, well, I should say, it'd go less than the target, excuse me. And so you'd overshoot it, then you'd undershoot it, then you'd overshoot it again, but less, and then you'd undershoot it till it kind of hit. That's bracketing. You're going boink, 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 and that's how you hit your target. Mortar, that's a tough gig right there. You're carrying the mortar tube and the plates on that. That's a tough, tough gig. I think that's called 11 Charlie. I was 11 Bravo. I think that's 11 Charlie, if memory serves. Yeah, no thank you. Anyway, so that's what we're trying to do. We're bracketing. So here we started with 4. We went to 50. We undershot, went to 51, went to 85. And now we're going to show you what we finally ended up doing here. Here we have her working 2 extra years. And again, we don't have her husband working. We just have him stopping at 62 like was the initial plan. Now, if he wants to work an extra year, that's fine. And they're going to be fine. But so you can see here. Here we have her working 2 extra years. At her current old crappy old job. So instead of retiring at the end of 2023, she retired at the end of 2025. Yeah. And then spending $7,000 less a year, a 5% reduction. So you're like, now we're sitting pretty close. We're at 67. Now I'm trying to get you at 75%. All right. So if I get you at 75%, I'm pretty comfortable. But here we have a median liquid net worth at our death at $400,000. All right. So that looks pretty good. Now, the reason why this is so low is because I have a significant downside risk built into the portfolio. If we ever get another 2008 or worse, then this could happen. It's not likely to happen, but again, that's the way I look at it. I like to be safe than sorry. We can work with this, and the way we work with this, maybe we don't spend $18,000 a year for travel. Maybe we spend $15,000 a year. Maybe we have your portfolio. A bunch of different things we could do. Maybe we take reverse mortgage. Maybe there's a ton of different things you can do here. But the point being is now she has a plan of action that says just work 2 more years, man. Just remember, we're trying to retire at the end of next year. Now I'm saying retire at the end of 2 years, if that makes sense. Also, she's building a side hustle. I said, well, if you can get that side hustle, she'll be able to make that work. I can't guarantee anything, but trust me, it'll be working just fine once she has an off ramp to quit her job and to go into her side hustle. Anyway, the point being is now we're, instead of 4% where we were, all we've done here, reduced her expenses by less than 5% a year, her consumption, and have her work for an extra 2 years. And now we're sitting pretty. You know what I'm saying? Now if she works an extra 3 years, she's fine. But we have something, a methodology. So instead of hanging out until 2023, we're looking at 2025. Things could change. The markets could do better. And this is where I come in. I say, look, every year for clients, I charge a $500 annual review fee. So we get back on the system for Donna and Dougie, and we say, okay, everything is looking up or down. I don't know. But maybe we can make this work this year just because the way the numbers are shaking out. Right now, though, I said, no, you guys got to keep plugging away. But there is light at the end of the tunnel for just 5%, less than 5% reduction in expenses a year. And even that, I still think is too high. I don't think they're going to be spending $130. I just don't. But, you don't know. So if that's what they put in, that's what we're running with. But that's how tight these financial plans are. Just a little bit of just a change on the perimeter can really change things. It's crazy how interesting it is. All right. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks now.